Imagine being told you're a third round talent only to go out and dominate the World Juniors, win a gold medal, and force the scouts to put you in the top 10. That is the reality for Viggo Björck. This kid didn't just rise up the draft boards, he absolutely detonated them. Today, we're breaking down how Bjork went from a B rated prospect to one of the most dynamic, high IQ centers in the 2026 NHL draft. Is he the next Zach Benson, or is he something even better? Let's dive right into the profile right now. All right, here we go. You got the profile. Let's go all the way back up here. All right, so Viggo Björck, currently playing for Djurgårdens of the SHL. He was born March 12th, 2008. He was born in Stockholm, Sweden. He's 5'10", 172 pounds. He shoots right. He is a center as well, and he can also play on the right wing. Of course, this is his first year eligible for the NHL draft. For the rankings, NHL Central Scouting has him ranked 5th amongst all international skaters. Peter Berrettini has him ranked 11th. Jordan Orth and Andrew Forbes both have him ranked 9th. Craig Button of TSN has him ranked 7th. McKean's Hockey has him ranked 8th. Sam Constantino of Sportsnet, as well as Jason Bukala, both have him ranked 7th, as does Smat Scouting. And then Dauber Prospects has him ranked 9th. Same thing with Draft Prospects Hockey. Viggo Björck started his draft year very underrated by the NHL Central Scouting as they placed him in the B category. In their initial players to watch ranking, basically at that point, they expect him to be selected in the second or third round, not the first round. Fast forward to their midterm rankings, and he is now firmly in the first round, ranked 5th amongst international skaters. Why the big jump? Well, he didn't deserve his initial B rating in the first place. His play at the 2026 World Juniors made it impossible for them to leave him anywhere but the first round. Björk not only played a regular shift on Team Sweden's eventual gold medal winning squad, but he also produced like a top 6 forward and was a key faceoff man and penalty killer for head coach Magnus Havelid. Apologies if I mispronounced that. He finished with 3 goals and 9 points in 7 games and was noticeable almost every time he was on the ice. His best outing came in the semifinal against their rivals, Team Finland. His speed and skill were on full display in the 3-on-3 overtime as he had multiple breakaways and chances to end it. Anton Frondell was the hero in the shootout, but Bjork put himself on the map with his dynamic performance in overtime. Outside of international competition, Bjork has thrived as well. After breaking records in the J18 and J20 leagues as both a 15 and a 18-year-old respectively, he has stepped into the SHL and not looked out of place with Djurgårdens IF, playing 20 minutes a night in all situations. He has 6 goals and 15 points in 42 games and has garnered a lot of praise from his teammates for his maturity and poise. He seems to figure most things out himself. We're happy to have him both as a person and as a player. He is very smart and mature in his game. All this skill, passing, driving, shooting, everyone sees that he can do it, but he usually makes the right decisions out there. And even outside, he's a guy who has his eye on things. This coming from a former NHLer and Djurgårdens teammate, Marcus Kruger. New York Islanders prospect Victor Eklund echoed those same sentiments during the World Juniors, saying he was more mature than him. He's one of the most mature guys I've ever met, even though he's 17. I would say more mature than me, to be honest, both on the ice and off the ice. He plays huge, he plays mature, he does what it takes to win. When it comes to Bjork's other strengths, his hockey IQ, vision, and playmaking are the biggest things scouts point out. As a center, those are invaluable to have in your arsenal when it comes to making it to the NHL. Like most undersized players, his work ethic, motor, and competitiveness are also strong suits of his game. Along with being strong on his skates and a willingness to get involved in the dirty areas of the ice, his shot is described as accurate and deceptive, which has shown itself regularly on the power play. He is also he is also exceptional defensively and a great penalty killer. As for weaknesses, people are always going to point to Bjork's size, but considering his motor intelligence, strength, and agility, that shouldn't be a concern moving forward. Scouts have also noted his lack of breakaway speed and tendency to do too much with the puck as other areas that he needs to work on. Overall, Bjork's strengths outweigh his weaknesses, and any team that fixates on his size as a reason not to draft him will most likely regret it, as they have with other undersized forwards like Cole Caufield, Logan Stankoven, Marco Rossi, Zach Benson, and Ben Kindle in the past. Let's take a look at Viggo Björck's NHL draft projection. After his performance at the 2026 World Juniors, Bjork's stock has risen to the top 10. Most rankings have him between 7th and 10th rather than the 20s, so expect him to go before the draft hits the second half of the first round. Let's take a look at some quotes regarding Bjork. Can play with the puck on a string and make plays as a natural facilitator who has a ton of poise and vision, but he also plays in and out of give and goes, will go to the net and finish off plays, and has great overall sense on and off the puck. He's also a quick and fast skater who can play at different paces and challenge both in straight lines and on cuts and turnbacks. Even if he's not a true burner for his size, I like his craft on the puck, and he's got an impressive knack for spinning and shaking away from coverage and drawing penalties. This, of course, coming from Scott Wheeler from The Athletic. There will always be some doubts about how a player under 6 feet tall can adapt to the NHL, even in today's more creative game over physicality. However, in Bjork's case, those doubts should quickly fade. He's a complete, intelligent player already managing the physical demands of professional hockey. Bjork plays with nonstop energy and awareness, constantly scanning the ice and staying engaged in all three zones. This coming from Ivan Ortiz from SMAT Scouting. Bjork is an undersized center who has the work rate, skill, and pace to his game to actually stick down the middle despite his size. He's been one of the most impressive players to watch since late December, and he's proving doubters wrong with each passing day. This coming from Tony Ferrari of the Hockey News. Bjork is a slick playmaking center. He has tremendous creativity as both a puck handler and passer. He's small and a good but not great skater, which raises some concerns about his NHL projection, particularly if he can stay in the middle. He's a battler, though, who's responsible off the puck and held his own versus men this season at the SHL level in terms of the physicality. He projects as a top 6 center. This coming from Corey Pronman of The Athletic. Let's take a look at his strengths. Obviously, there's been a lot of talk about his hockey IQ, his vision as well. He's got playmaking, a relentless motor, and competitiveness. We've seen a lot about that, especially in the quotes. His agility and edge work, his deceptive shooting, and his two-way game. Now let's take a look at some things that are under construction and where he could improve on. Obviously, the number one being his size. That's always going to be there. His top-end speed and his patience with the puck. Let's take a look at his NHL potential now. Bjork projects as a top 6 forward capable of playing on both the power play and the penalty kill. Even if he doesn't hit the heights of that, his two-way game will still keep him employed as a reliable middle 6, bottom 6 center and top penalty killer. Wheeler compared him to Rossi, Benson, and Kindle, 3 players who have already made a name for themselves in the NHL. He even said he could be better than them, so all in all, he's a pretty low-risk, high-reward selection. Speaking of high reward and risk, his risk is a 1 out of 5, and of course, the reward for him is a full-on 5 out of 5. Now, his fantasy hockey potential, his offense is a 7 out of 10, and so is his defense. His awards and achievements, Bjork won gold for Team Sweden at the 2026 World Juniors. He was also named a top 3 player for his team after scoring 3 goals and 9 points in 7 games. Let's take a look at his stats, starting with 22-23 with the IFK Tabby HCU16. As a 16-year-old, he had 45 points in 21 games. For the U16 SM, he had 12 points in 8 games. For the U18 National, he had 17 points in 13 games. Starting in 23-24 with the U16 Division 1 team, he had 50 points in 16 games. For Stockholm Nord, for TV Pucken, he had 24 points in 8 games. And then for the U16 SM, in that 23-24 season, he had 10 points in 3 games. And then for the U18 region, he had 98 points in 36 games as an 18-year-old. For the U17 Sweden, he had 13 points in 12 games. For Djurgårdens IF U18, he had 3 points in 2 games in 24-25. At the Helenka Gretzky Cup, he had 2 points in 5 games. And then at the U18, he had 6 points in 4 games. And then for the U20 national team, he had 74 points in 42 games. And then for the Hockey Allsvenskan League, he had 1 point in 1 game. And then for the U17 WHC, he had 5 points in 4 games. For the International Junior League, he had also 5 points in 5 games. For the WJC 18, he had 8 points in 7 games. Then in the International Junior League, he had 18 points in 19 games. For the Djurgårdens IF U20 national team in 25-26, he had 5 points in 4 games. Then his SHL season that we mentioned earlier, 15 points in 42 games. For the Sweden U20, he had 9 points in 7 games. And then for the International Junior, he had 19 points in 17 games. The WJC 20 was, of course, the World Junior Championships this past year. We have some videos here. You guys can check these out. I will leave a link to this profile in the description down below. You guys can check these videos out. And that does it for another prospect profile. I hope you guys enjoyed this one. I do think whoever ends up picking Viggo Björck is definitely going to be happy with their pick. And of course, like we kind of already mentioned earlier in this, teams, if they pass on Viggo Björck, they most likely are going to regret that decision. But I want to know what you guys think. Who do you guys think is going to draft Viggo Björck? Let me know in the comment section down below. Which team do you think is going to go after Viggo Björck? And which team do you think Viggo Björck will land on in this year's draft? Once again, let me know in the comment section down below. Björck, in his last 10 games played, he has 17 points. In his last 5, he has 12. So let that, think a little bit. But yeah, let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. And of course, if you guys enjoyed this video, hit that like button and subscribe to the line change so don't miss more in-depth analysis of not just your Vancouver Canucks, but also your NHL draft prospect profiles. Once again, drop your comments down below, and I'll catch you guys in the next prospect profile.